I'm telling you, man, comic books are sinking these days.
Dude, they are called graphic novels.
No, just the ones that are called graphic novels are called graphic novels. The single issues and majority of titles are still just comics.
But it's just a name. Comics can go so far beyond that.
Well, I'm not seeing a lot of hope. Name a comic that has been popular within the last few years.
Kick-Ass.
Oh, what a surprise. Mark Millar writes a violent title where people swear and bad things happen to everyone. What a fucking surprise. Frank Miller did it 20 years ago and people eventually figured out that he was just a misogynist nut who likes black and white.
But Frank Miller gave us The Dark Knight Returns.
A book where Batman outsmarts everyone by planning everything so far ahead he can kick Superman in the balls? Why doesn't he just plan so far ahead he tricks the Earth to rotate backwards? I'm kind of getting tired of his shtick.
But Grant Morrison?
No. Do not even get me started on Grant Morrison. The man is insane. The man is insane. He took too many drugs in the 90s and now all his books are people yelling in reverse Shakespearean stream of consciousness madness while the Joker sings David Bowie songs and Commissioner Gordon dances the hokey pokey. He did Final Crisis and no one knew what the fuck was going on. He had Batman use a gun to kill someone and then he died. That should have been it, but no, he just went back in time to have nonsensical adventures and show up again plain as day. It ruins itself like a puppy with a stomach virus.
But his run on Batman is really acclaimed.
Yeah, acclaimed by the geniuses at IGN who thought Garth Ennis The Boys was more than just Garth Ennis writing rejected scripts for pornography and snuff films as comic books.
It's more than just about what the critics think.
Yeah, and I think all the major comic writers are over the hill.
Neil Gaiman
is so popular as a regular novelist he is regarded by nerds as the second coming of Christ who has a cool accent and wears leather jackets.
Alan Moore
is so far beyond the industry he lives on the fucking moon.
Warren Ellis. Transmetropolitan is a classic.
Yes, but everything he writes is delayed for years. Planetary 26 came out in December 2006. Issue 27 didn't come out for 3 years. 3 fucking years. I didn't realize being successful meant you could drag all your fans and publishers on a chain.
What about Brian Michael Bendis?
Shut the fuck up right now. The man isn't human. He's some kind of octopus who writes banter and ridiculous plot points about clones, undead zombie clones, demon clones, mutant god clones. I'm beginning to think he is a clone of himself and the real Brian Bendis was buried in a landfill in New Jersey many years ago.
Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman wrote The Walking Dead, which is now a popular TV show, and Invincible, which has been raved about for years.
Keep saying that when all the characters die and get abortions. I am afraid he's the Brian Bendis waiting to happen.
What about J. Michael Straczynski? His run on Thor was really good.
Yeah, and then it got thrown into another Infinite Crisis War Siege Madness Oblivion Chaos crossover of Doom. And now one of the only popular titles, Thor the Mighty Avenger, is being cancelled.
Surely you can't blame him for that.
No, but it proves my point. The management at the big 2 publishers are ruining everything. Oh, excuse me, Joe Quesada. I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to enjoy watching Peter Parker as Spider-Man grow up into a reasonable adult, and now you've turned all the Spider-Man titles into backwards inside-out doppelgangers who spew terrible characters and poisoned vomitous dialogue.
What about independent press? Oni Press. They made Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, a title that became very popular but a film adaptation still couldn't generate revenue at the box office. That's Scott Pilgrim?
I blame the industry.
Independent press is fine and dandy, but the comic book industry makes it exceedingly hard to dig through the crap to find the good stuff. Bookstores are packed with volumes of Spider-Man, Batman, but how many people buy the complete collection of Jeff Smith's Bone?
People love Bone.
But it's also been over since 2004. I just don't see anything for comic fans to turn to and say this is our shining moment right here.
Why The Last Man?
Has been over for a while and now movie producers are arguing over the rights to it.
Ex Machina?
Also by Brian Vaughan, but like Why the Last Man, It ended on a major downer and was not as popular as why these days the only way to make a comic book is to make it extremely violent, make it extremely sad, or mess with it so insanely that it becomes a cancerous mass that no longer resembles the original product.
Wow. It's as if society itself has collapsed before my eyes. I think I'm going to go give all my money to charity, to save myself from this horrible behemoth.
That a boy?